Congress implodes on both sides, the House and the Senate, here within the last 24 hours. I'm going to give you the details on what is happening right now and how it is imploding our country. And things are just getting worse and worse here by the day. And the problem here is since the last election, the midterm elections, we have basically gotten nothing done. Yeah. So take a look at what is happening here right now. Okay. First up here today, we have the Republican controlled House of Representatives fails to impeach Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. The Republicans can or could have impeached him in the House all by themselves with just Republican votes, and they couldn't do it. Now, first, this was mostly a symbolic vote, and this was a precursor vote to the Republicans maybe trying to impeach President Joe Biden here next, especially coming before the election to send a message to Americans and voters, okay? Largely because former President Donald Trump was impeached twice in the House, okay? And this would be a message and maybe a little bit of, get back for Republicans saying, hey, Biden was impeached too, okay? But the Republicans couldn't even impeach the border secretary with the border problems that we've had here in the United States. And one of the main things they maybe want to impeach Joe Biden on is the border. But they couldn't even impeach the Homeland Security Secretary, the border, who's in charge of the border. And all they needed was Republican votes. So, let me know your thoughts on this. But yeah, this happened here today. And this shows the divide between the Republicans here today. And the other thing that we're starting to see more and more is that Republicans have not largely gotten any major bills completely passed from the House and the Senate since they've been in power from the last midterm elections, where the Republicans have controlled the House. And you also need, 60 votes in the Senate, where it's Republicans and Democrats to pass it in the last year and some months. There hasn't been basically any major bills that have passed, which also leads to this Congress's epic implosion happening here today. And the U.S. border deal fails here today. And the problem here is that they actually are trying to pass a deal for the US border and can't get anything done between Republicans and Democrats. They also can't get anything done for aid for Israel. Largely, there has been almost nothing passed since the attack on Israel. And Ukraine funding has run out. In fact, Dr. Phil just visited the border. Take a listen to what he had to say here.
Dr. Phil McGraw, he visited the southern border in Texas, meeting with Border Patrol officials to witness the ongoing crisis firsthand. He rightly criticized the administration for their failures, calling it, quote, a humanitarian crisis unlike anything we have ever seen before. Here with more on his experience visiting the border in Texas, author of the book We've Got Issues, a good friend, the host of the Dr. Phil Primetime Show, Dr. Phil McGraw. I've always loved your style, which is just hard-hitting, penetrating, straight truth, take it or leave it. I'm not worried about your feelings. I'm not sure in this woke world if that's quite as acceptable. I give you credit, though. Well, you went down and you looked at the border yourself. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris can't really say that they did what you did.
Well, Sean, thank you. I did go down because, first off, I'm pro-immigration. You need to understand, I think we need immigration in America. We need it for a lot of different reasons, but not the way it's being practiced right now.
No, you're
And I wanted to
pro-legal
go down.
immigration. You're
That's
pro-legal
exactly
immigration.
right.
I'm pro-legal immigration.
Well, and we both are, and I know that. And I went down and talked to these gentlemen because I wanted to know from us, one of the most psychological principles, one of the most fundamental psychological principles is you don't reward bad behavior. And I wanted to go talk to the guys that are heading this up. And I have to tell you, you talk about some impressive troops down there. These guys are fighting a morale battle because they can't get what they need. And I wanted to know what's happening down here. What's really going on? We hear this number, 6 million people have come across under the current administration. I talked to experts down there that say that number is a myth, that it's closer to 13 to 14 million that have come across. And I asked them straight up, what is it you need here? And I was shocked to hear them say, we don't need more money. We don't need more resources. We don't need more officers. We don't need more legislation. We just need the laws that are on the books to be followed. We need to be allowed to do our job, and we can get this under control right now. We don't need a bunch more money, officers, and legislation. Just let us do our job. That's all we need. And if you'll do that, we can get this under control overnight.
Dr. Phil, I've been down there myself over the years, probably 12, 15 times, horseback, all-terrain vehicles, on foot. I've been out. I've been in the drug warehouses, floor to ceiling, drugs that will kill our kids. Whatever the number is, 8 million, 10 million when you count gotaways, illegal immigrants. Here's the thing nobody else wants to talk about. With supporting legal immigration, that to me means, well, every person coming to this country needs to be vetted. They can't have radical ties or associations. We need to know that before they come here. We need to know, give them a health check in the middle of a post-pandemic world. We need to make sure they won't be a financial burden on the American people. I think very simple stuff. We have people coming from Iran, Syria, Egypt, Afghanistan, China, and Russia, in tens of thousands combined from those countries. Why do you think they're coming to our southern border? And what are the odds that there are terror cells among that large group of people?
We would be incredibly narcissistic to assume that these people are coming in here just because they're in the neighborhood. They're coming in here with an agenda, Sean. Between 2010 and 2020, it's estimated that 1,100 Chinese came across the southern border. In the first 11 months of 23, it's estimated that 33,000 came across, and many of them military-age men. Now, where did they go once they came across the border? We have no idea. They're not being monitored. They're not being followed. And look, in China, you don't just decide, you know what, I think I'll take a trip. They have to go through certain steps to get out of China. It costs a lot of money to get here. And when they get here, what are they doing? If they're working in farming, if they're working in industry, I'll promise you they are expected to do certain things. Are they spying? Are they sending seeds back from farming to China? Are they getting plans from industries they're working on? Who knows what they're doing? We don't know, and we need to know. And the guards tell me, and I talked to so many of them down there, they said, we're not trying to close the border. What we want to know is who, why, and what. Who's coming in here? Why are they coming? And what is their business? And we have the right to know that, to control who's coming into this country.
Wow. As you can see, it's just absolutely wild. And things haven't really gotten better, and Congress can't get anything done. So largely it's, Texas fighting for themselves there, and really just defying the orders of the Supreme Court right now to try to do the best they can. So I'll keep you up to date. If you haven't yet, make sure to like, share these videos, and subscribe down below so you don't miss out on new videos that come out here every day at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Click here to see a new major decision that just came in. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next video.